Hello, yet again. Another Emotiona Podcast. It's good to see you through the lens, over the waves. It's the middle of summer. It's time to do another podcast here. We got a big episode in front of us. It might be in front of us as a collective. As far as me, subjectively, it's on this piece of paper. I just have a couple highlights. And what's happening this episode? We're going to talk about the new music. It's been a while since there's been some new music, Emotiona. What's the deal? Where is it at? I gotta let you know about it. I gotta say it. We're going to talk about new music. We're talking about Dead Mouse and a really exciting local show that I'm going to tonight. Maybe we'll talk about Bonnaroo and Electric Forest. We'll do a little festival recap. We'll look back in time. We're going to talk about a mysterious new female vocalist and some potential tour dates of some kind. That makes me excited, kind of. It does make me excited. But I don't want to get too excited, because if you're too excited, then, I don't want to come across like fake or fluffy, I'm legit excited about all those things. And it's the middle of July. It's hot. It's summer. You might hear my air conditioning in the background. I figured I might just bring you into the space even more. I could keep it off through the whole thing, and keep it off through the whole thing, and get kind of toastier throughout the episode. But maybe with you hearing it in the back, you're getting that much more of a glimpse of what's actually happening in the studio here. But yeah, I hope your summer's going well. Mine's been really cool. I was driving down. I was gonna go up to northern Fishers, Indiana. I was gonna go to a big store, and I was driving with my AC blasting. I've been blasting the AC in my car, and I'm just blessed to have a car that has air conditioning, right? I'm not sure if you've ever been there, if you've been in a vehicle that doesn't have AC. It's kind of a game changer in the summertime. So I was cruising down the road for a long time and had the AC going, and then it's an older car. I'm still on my way up, all right? And I had a little car moment. There's a little, this poof of white smoke, brrr, poof, out of the back of the car. I'm like, oh boy, here you go. Because anytime you're driving an older kind of, car, at any point, that's a wrap. It's over, and that's fine. I've got this Mazda 3. It's been a great car. Super thankful for it. I tell it that. But yeah, there's a little bit of a white puff of smoke, and I was like, all right, maybe I need to chill in the AC. So I turned off the AC, and the white smoke chilled out. So I'm not a mechanic, but if you're a mechanic out there, I'm guessing I was just, we're getting close to overheating. Maybe Google said there's a crack in the engine, something, or the cylinder, blown cylinder. Whatever it was, I needed to chill out, because it was chilling me out so much. It was working so hard to chill me out that I needed to be aware that, hey, I need to chill out on the AC, right? And it's good that we all take care of each other. We need to be aware that we're taking care of each other. And I know a lot of you out there, maybe you take care of people around you too much, or maybe we need to know when we're taking care of people around us. And we don't have to let them know. Sometimes we can just give that to them for free. But at some point, it's we need to chill, and we need to be taken care of. I'm not saying that about myself. I'm talking about my air conditioning in my car. But I can imagine a lot of you listening right now, myself included, kind of pleasing everyone around you and making sure that they're all taken care of. That's beautiful. It's a huge role to play for people. But we also have to take care of ourselves, right? Been going to the gym. I got a new gym membership. Been still eating eating really well. I was like, what if I worked out every day? And that might sound kind of crazy, but I'm just kind of let's take it up a notch. What's the best way I can take care of myself, And it's been pretty cool. I'm not going to say I'm super jacked, but I'll get to the points. Can I talk about one more thing? Let's talk about when you're looking in the mirror. I know you want to hear about the new music, okay? But what about that when you're looking in the mirror, and that's the way you see yourself, and how it's not necessarily reality, for me, for example, there'll be times where I'll be, I'm in the gym mode, and I'll feel like, man, I'm huge. This is like my inner dude-ness talking, you know? I'm jacked. But then there's other days where you're just like, whoa, maybe I'm just like super skinny still. You know, maybe I'm just like still just a small guy. The opposite's totally true. You know, you imagine that you're way overweight. And there's been times in my life for absolutely where I'm like, no, my face is super puffy. I feel like trash because I've been eating terrible. And you look in the mirror and you see that. But in fact, that's not reality. It's just crazy how powerful the way we see the world, you know, and how we don't see the world as it is. You know, it's our view of it is so charged with where we're at and like our intentions, and just, oh man, it's just so pumped full of what we think it is, you know. So I don't know, lately I've been trying not to be not as quick to judge, just to be open, know that I don't have all the answers, I don't have the full story, I'm always learning, and that helps. It helps us live together when I know that I don't know your whole story and I don't know almost anything. Little side note there. That was 2 for 2 right out of the gate. Emotiona, deep thoughts with Emotiona. But it's true, so maybe I haven't been thinking too much, but here's number 1, pop, new music. Where's the new music? And the good news is I've been working on it. I've been working on tons of new music. I've got a bunch of new tracks that have been in the works. A lot of them are finished. There's some really crazy collabs. And it's like, I talked about it the past couple episodes, crazy excited. It's sounding so good. So, I mean, honestly, within the past week, I've heard another collaboration that I've been working on, and it's just the music's getting taken to a place where I could never have taken it there, and it's just so charged. Like, I think a big thing for me, like, going forward is I want to live up to, like, the Emotiona name, you know, and I want, like, just to have, like, just pumped full of feelings and, like, sensations, whatever you want to call it, you know. It's these, I don't want you to feel something, you know. And this latest song is just, man, it's just soaked, and I can't wait for you to hear it, but I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. It's under wraps. I'm under an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, but you'll know it when you hear it. But yeah, it's patience. I know we talked, I'm on this like wave kick as well. I don't know if you saw my social media post where I posted the wave, and it's like, it's been a couple months since I hadn't released a song, and it's like, it's a bummer when you're off that wave and it feels like you lost that momentum, but you really haven't. It's just sometimes you have to wait. It just takes patience. And maybe we've talked about that before, but I can feel the wave coming back up. I'm not just waiting for it. I'm like putting energy into it. Like, I want this wave to happen. It made me feel so good when I was like one song a month. Like, every month there's a new song release, and you don't want to force it, you know. And some things come out at certain times, right? But yeah, you know when you're on the wave, and you're super grateful when you're there. But when you're off, it's like, it's okay, dude. Chill out. There's another one coming. Let's just prepare for it. Let's get ready. But as far as local music, there's been some really cool things. There's a big show tonight in Indianapolis. This is number 2, by the way. This is the second part of the podcast. Boom. Chapter 2. Deadmau5, massive electronic DJs, coming to Indianapolis, where I live currently. And, I mean, he's one of the biggest acts in EDM. But one of my best friends, Bruce Jackson, is getting to open up for him. You've heard me talk about him on the podcast before. And it's just a pretty cool story, because it was like 2015. Him and I and our buddy Kim Reeves went to Bonnaroo, the Music and Arts Festival in Manchester, Tennessee. And it was a beautiful experience. It was unbelievable. I'd been to a bunch of electronic shows before, but that was my first quote-unquote festival, right? And that festivals can completely, you know, change the way you just think about music and the way you think in period. And so we were there, Brandon Coleman / Bruce Jackson, and like it was 2015, and we knew that there was a time we're gonna go back home, and we were just charged. We were inspired. Inspired is the word. And we're like, all right, we're in our own way. We're gonna learn how to produce music, you know, learn how to DJ, learn how to do the whole thing. just because, not because you're forcing it or not because you want to be famous, but like you're just inspired. When you're inspired, it's like you don't need to, it's good to be inspired. It's good to do dope things. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes you can look at it as if it's kind of like silly, or I've never used the word trivial before, but yeah, like it's not. I think that's so cool to be inspired by music and go home and work on it. So ever since then, both him and I and Cam Reeves in our own three ways, I've been sometimes collaborating together, but sometimes on our own, just like working, like putting the work in. And I'm not sure if I set up this story well enough yet, but he's opening for deadmau5 tonight. My buddy Bruce Jackson. So 6 years ago, 6 years in the making, as far as that story is concerned, to go from that festival. That festival feeling back home to now opening up for one of the biggest EDM acts on the planet. And I don't know, I'm just so happy for him. I'm so excited. He's put in tons of work. He's taken, I've said this to a few friends, if he went we both started producing music, and he produces music, and I've kind of DJ'd, kind of, not really, but a little bit. But you can imagine there being like two paths. There's like the DJ path and the producer path. Like the DJ plays the music, the producer makes the music, right? And so many times the DJ and the producer are the same. Like the DJ's playing the songs that he made, he or she, whatever. And yeah, I've just been down for years and years, just focusing on songwriting, focusing on production, and just now, as you've heard over the past couple, months, just now getting out to start playing shows. Whereas Brandon, my buddy Bruce Jackson, he's been DJing in the Indianapolis scene for like years and years. Like he's put so much time into local events, every Thursday night, every Wednesday night, or whatever it is. He's just been in it, learning, kind of harnessing his skills, focusing on his craft. And yeah, long story short, I'm just so excited to see my buddy on like the biggest stage in Indianapolis. And it's just a cool story to know that, when you are at that inspirational moment, wherever it is, for us it was at the festival, but it could be anywhere, to know that if you just put in time, and like crazy amounts of time and energy into something, like it can pay off. It's not guaranteed to pay off, but it can, and beautiful. And chances are, if you just keep going, there's gonna be some beautiful things that come out of it. You know what I mean? So Bruce Jackson, cool story. It'll be cool to see deadmau5 tonight. It'll be cool to see just friends. It'll be like all the electronic friends will be out tonight downtown Indianapolis, and that's exciting. It'll be cool to catch up with them. Yeah, there's all sorts of small little places. There's a new place called the Saint Shack downtown. We're gonna do a little pre-game, have a cold one, just see some friends. So that's exciting. I wrote down the Bonnaroo Electric Forest, where Bruce and I first met, or we were friends way before that, where we first kind of got into EDM. And I'm not sure if I painted that picture or not, what Bonnaroo and Electric Forest and what that is. But maybe you've been there. Maybe you've had that moment. This is part 3, by the way. Boom. The podcast is progressing. Welcome to the third section of the podcast. I always forget the word. It's not chapter, the next section, the next whatever. But I don't know. So live music in general is such a big deal. And especially after lockdowns and stuff, like, man, I'm looking at lockdowns. I just can't believe we did that. It was so challenging. It was difficult, and we, like, reality, having like this time to be with your friends in the real world, like, it's a big deal. So imagine that. And then we're all growing up, right? And you think that all your best times are behind you. You can never have a sense of wonder. You can never have your mind blown. You can never be impressed. I'm just saying, as an adult, though, that can kind of become a feeling to some people, to everybody, if we're not careful. You know what I mean? But festivals, to me, and I'm going to one here in September, it's just like an adult summer camp. It's like you're going on this weekend getaway, but you're all camping out. You can go, you don't have to camp, but that's where the experience is, and you're in tents and you're outside in the elements, and maybe it's hot, or there's a thunderstorm or a tornado or rain or who knows, but to be outside with people like through all day long and in the morning and at night is a special thing. And then there's just a feeling of at nighttime, it's just being surrounded by just tens of thousands of people walking around this like, usually they're super beautiful visually, they're really cool lights, really cool, all sorts of craziness happening around you, It's just like sensory overload. And you're just, it's just such a beautiful feeling in the air, like in the sky. You can almost feel it, like whatever music you're listening to, there's just such an excitement, and there's such like a camaraderie of everyone around you that you're all on the same page and you're all on the same wavelength and you're all just like celebrating that moment, man. And we've just needed that, and it's here, and I'm so glad that it's here. And at any point, it could be all over. At any point, that's a wrap. At any point, that was the last experience for whatever reason. If it's another lockdown, or there's, one of us doesn't make it, or whatever. Not to get too dramatic, but it's like, I know that that's how it goes. But it's like, I feel like it's okay to, of course it's okay to have fun times and to celebrate life. You know what I mean? And I'm excited for that tonight. I'm excited to see friends and to hug everybody. Huge hugs. I need that. I need to connect. Me for sure. Like, I'm in a chapter in my life where I'm like, I know I need. You can imagine like there's different glasses, right? And you need to have like full. You need to be balanced. You can kind of go super ham on your crazy obsession for a while, whatever that is. Maybe it's your job, or maybe for me it's been music, or maybe it's this other project, or whatever. Maybe for you it's been you need to get married, so you need to find the person you need to marry. You're just obsessed. Whatever it is, or you need to, whatever, there's so many things to get, you need new friends, you need to find all your new friends that you can, or you need to make a bunch of money, or whatever type of success. It's good to be driven, it's good to be focused, but for me, I'm really seeing the cups, and then they need to be balanced, right? So I'm kind of just been giving myself space and permission to be like, I need to go out with friends more. I need to see real people, because I'm always here. And that's good. And I'm glad I've done a lot of work, and I'm excited to keep putting it out into the world, because that's a gift. So, that for me, it's like, I love putting that out. That's the gift to give everybody, you know what I mean? Hopefully, if they don't think it's terrible. But the opposite, I just need more people time. I need to be around more social environments. And that's just me making that happen. I'm just trying to be aware of that within myself, to know that gives me energy. I think like a lot of people the past couple of years might think that like I'm an introvert person or whatever. I've just been so introverted on paper like the past handful of years, where it might seem that way. Maybe I've even convinced myself of that, But at the end of the day, I love being around people. I think, I've had to work around people, so I think that's kind of burnt me out. Like I've bartended and stuff, and that's just a challenge after you've done it for so long. But that's a different story. But I'm gonna this next year for me, I'm gonna make an effort to go out more. Just like like what do normal people do more? Go out to eat more, engage with just the real world more often. Because that sounds like the right thing to do. But that was just a little. I know I've probably talked about Bonnaroo and Electric Forest and festivals before, but I thought it's the summertime. I know this Dead Mouse show for us, for Bruce and all of our friends. We've got a big circle of friends who are going to be out celebrating for him that have all posted on Facebook. Like, it's been so cool seeing everyone, all of our friends and everyone in Indianapolis. Literally, it's such a huge deal for Indianapolis that everyone on Facebook is like posting something similar to what I posted today. That we're just so proud of our buddy, and we can't wait to see him on the huge stage. And I know the Electric Forest thing, I've talked about that before, but this is all about that. It's all about looking back on those times and seeing, when you see hard work pay off for a friend, that's super cool. But anyways, let's take a quick sip of water here. Section 4, Part 4, Chapter 4 of the EMOTIONA Podcast number 9. What is this mysterious female vocalist? Who? What? Yeah, so I've had a friend for quite a while. My friend Mandy Suter from the band Noctura. Dead serious. Used to live in Indiana, but then she moved out to California. And we had done some music stuff together before with I Exist. She jumped on, she came in the studio with some of the I Exist stuff and tracked vocals for that. And this is back in long time ago. Really long time ago. But it just kind of hit me. I was like, I saw her on social media on Instagram. And, you know, we've got these new EMOTIONA songs coming out. And it took me a while to dial in my voice to EDM or whatever you want to call it, to electronic music, because I was coming from like the hard rock metal world, so I was like super like like angry, yelling all the time in a cool way. No apologies, you know what I'm saying? But I've kind of dialed that in. I'm still I just love singing and stuff, but obviously electronic music is known for the female vocalists, just period. You know, there's always female vocalists sort of dominate electronic music, and it just kind of hit me. I was like, man, she has an incredible voice. My friend Mandy, what if we did a song? You know what I mean? And I forget what it was, if it was some birthday message or we just reached out to each other randomly, and I was like, hey, maybe it's New Year's, I forget. I was like, maybe we should do a song, you know? And she was like, yeah, because she's ready to go. She's awesome. And so I had this first song idea, and I was like, all right, we're gonna make this super sad, sappy song, and whatever, maybe we'll still do it. But it actually turned out too sad, where it was kind of like, I don't know if anyone's gonna actually want this or like this, or if it's cheesy or it sounds too old-fashioned. You know what I mean? And maybe I shouldn't think about that stuff, but also maybe I should, because it's like, what, you know, why? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Do you know who it's for? Can you imagine it being of value to people, or as far as like, is it relevant to what's happening? Those are all maybe terrible questions. But I was like, I don't know. So maybe that song's too sad. Let's keep it. But I was like, I'm gonna make a second song. So I'm gonna give her 2 songs. I'm gonna let her choose. Is she gonna like the super crazy sad song, or maybe just the kind of sad song? But anyways, long story short, it's gonna be I think the first vocal feature, or like a vocal collaboration that I've done so far, so that I can think of, and that's really exciting. It'd be really crazy to like write a song and not even sing on it and just have her do vocals the whole time. But it also might be cool to kind of split it up like a duet. You know, do you do this first, I'll do this first. So we'll see. But yeah, Mandy Suter from Noctura. Check out Noctura. I don't know if you're into older like Evanescence stuff, but that album is so good on Spotify. She has a beautiful voice, and it's happening. Final chapter, final section of the podcast. Swarm just announced his tour dates for 2021. He's going on tour with Phase 1, which I'm not super familiar with Phase 1. I know the name, right? But I can't talk about any details because there's still a lot of unknowns. You know, I'm not announcing anything crazy, but I'm just saying your boy might be making an appearance a couple of these. I'm not jumping on set. I'm not playing a show. I'm not playing with him. I'm just saying I'm going to be there in the crowd, and maybe I'll be on stage. I don't know. Maybe I'll jump up on stage. I'm sure next podcast I'll talk about what dates those are. Just definitely like Midwest, you know, out in the middle of nowhere kind of spaces. But I just miss touring. I miss performing so bad. I've talked about that a bunch. Miss playing shows. And I want to support my buddy Swarm, and I can't wait. I've never met him in person. It'll be the first time I get to meet him in person too. So it's crazy how you can like work with somebody and know somebody, you know, for so long, but not actually ever meet him in person. So it'd be super cool to meet him in person. So that's that. I mean, I guess that's it. Boom. That was the EMOTIONA Podcast for July 2021. I'm feeling good. I've got these new pants on, you know. What have you been doing? Hopefully cool things. Hopefully breathing and drinking water potentially. I've got a Brita water filter. What kind of water do you have? But hope you're staying cool. Don't crank that AC too hard. I mean, use it, but don't lose it. I don't know what that means. Thanks for hanging out. Until we meet again, the EMOTIONA Podcast. Signing off. Peace.